We don't normally split regular ed and special ed because there are so many in here. We have about 19 out of 25 that are on active IEPs. Most of them are on for behavior, and then we have a slew of them in there for academics. So Ms. Washington does know the curriculum. It's stronger than I do. So I kind of interject the SPED needs, and she'll show me what the continuum is, and then we sit down together.
Yeah, and we really work on, focus on the comprehension skill, but we also work on providing a lesson that is going across all of the different modes. So if it needs to be more hands-on, then we add a hands-on component. And for our higher students, we add a little extra reading. So we really work together to make sure that the lesson covers all different levels.
Right, because we've got IEP goals to focus on, we've got this new standards to focus on, we've got what Mr. Sutton's telling us to do, and we've got what the principal says to do, so we just sit down and we find time anytime. I mean, I've gone over to her house late at night and we've sat on the couch just to get all the plans done, or we just do it here 5 minutes, there 10 minutes, and say, this didn't work, let's try it again, a different way.
As you could see, the kids have clipboards, and that's what, every 20 minutes
that's for the behaviors.
For the behaviors, every 20 minutes we're keeping data on how they're doing based on their goals.
Yeah, 15 kids are carrying around clipboards, and their IEP goals for the behavior are written out, like she said, every 20 minutes per whatever skill we're working on, or whatever focus, the academic, math, reading, whatever. But and it even goes to lunch, it goes to specials, and so every 20 minutes and then I calculate it every night, and it's put on their IEP.
Now, regularly for collecting data, of course, we do informal and formal assessments as far as like what we're teaching. And then we get together and say, okay, well, they did not do great on this, let's reteach it in a different way. Or they did great on this, let's move them up to the next level. So we're always collecting data. Sometimes when Fowl will take the lead on a math lesson, I have a notepad and I'm taking notes on who's getting it and who's not getting it. So that way we can go back and say, okay, this group needs to do this group needs to do this. So it's a constant collection of data, informally and formally.
When we use the assistant,
yes,
all the time. So we've got the Literacy First Continuum for PA and phonics and sight words, so she is always on top of that for us. We will make time for her to continue that, so we know exactly where they are at least every 2 months, every 2 months or more based on the kids' needs. Our assistant is wonderful. We can't do it without our assistant.
No.
She will take things home and make things on her own and say, this is what we're doing. And I'm like, yes, let's go with it.
Do it.
And she will come to us. We sit and we will plan with her. She'll ask us questions. We'll ask her questions. And she has got our kids off the sight word charts. And some of them are within the MMD range, and they are shining.
Yeah. She will, so during our centers, what we have her do is our word work center, and we have her focusing on sight words. So she does every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there's a different activity that she does with them. Building words, definitions, you name it, write a written expression. She'll do a picture prompt, and they have to write about the picture. And she really takes initiative and helps. We don't have to necessarily tell her everything to do, but her focus is getting the kids working on their sight words and being able to read those common words. So the kids have sight word folders. She updates their sight words every week, puts new cards in their folder so they can take home every night and practice, and they bring them back, and she tests them every day on their sight words. So she really plays a very vital part of the Three Musketeers.
And she's doing all this on the weekends.
Yeah.
I mean, she's taking her own time to do this for us.
You kind of have to, because we don't really have much other time to do it.
We are constantly in motion.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm doing the OG training, so I've got the phonics on the floor, and she's doing sight words, and she's doing a little bit of the PA as well as MI. We're kind of tagging each other off the comprehension. So we've got this round robin going, so everything is tackled.
So she, and then she comes back in the afternoon for math, because we do math centers as well. With our kids this year, we found that it's better to do very targeted instruction in centers. So she takes a math center and she does most of the math games with math facts. We're really focusing on math facts right now. So she's very, very vital
We love her. Don't take
to
her.
our system. Every classroom
Yes.
should have
Yes,
an assistant that can stay
and work.
and work. So.
We group students actually by ability. I mean, and that pendulum kind of goes all the way around when it comes to school. But with the kiddos here, we got them on 4 different groups in reading, 4 different groups in math. We know exactly where they are on the reading continuum and what our math continuum that we have come up with. We know where they're at, and they change weekly, really, on whatever skill that we have decided to introduce. If they've mastered it, they move on.
Initially, at the beginning of the year, because we don't necessarily know them, we use our continuum, our phonics, literacy first phonics continuum and PA to group them initially, and then from there we move based on how they're doing. We kind of make the groups are very fluid.
Very fluid.
I think our first year was hard because we are both very strong people. Would you not say that?
We didn't know each other.
We didn't know each other, and so my way was right, and her way was right. But now we can compromise. I mean, I know I'm right still, and she still knows she's right, but we can compromise.
I respect her for all of the wealth of knowledge that she is, and I hope that she would respect me
I do.
as well. So we play to each other's strengths.
We do.
And that, I couldn't ask for a better co-teach
And I couldn't
because
ask for another teacher either.
I know that if I'm having an off day, Miss Fowl is like, let's go. And she's like, you go sit down and do this, and I've got this. So it really helps in that aspect. But also, I know when the kids are going to her, I know that they're going to learn. I know that if I'm out and there's a sub in here, I know that Miss Fowl is going to, that it's going to be okay. The day's not going to go to waste.
Right.
I trust her. I trust her with the decisions she makes for our kids.
And I totally agree with everything she said.
We work well together.
Some of our kids are very, very, very low. I mean, we got some really low IQ kiddos in here, and Lamar is willing to go the long mile to get them to learn. She's not one to say those are your kids, because they're not. They're our kids, and we went right from the day one with that.
Oh, yeah.
They're not mine or hers. So like you saw in our small group, I don't just do the kids with special needs. She doesn't just do the regular ed kids. We have combined everything, and it works. And I mean, it just works. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are days that we've had disagreements, but we have moved on. We don't let it get us because we don't have time.
Keep going.
We just don't have time for disagreements in that sense.
We just don't.
Not pettiness. We're both
No.
professionals and we both respect
Yeah.
each other in that aspect. And to top it off, we are friends. So
That does help.
It does help. So like we said,
Yeah.
the first year was tough, but what is this, our 4th or 5th year?
5th, I think.
We got a well-oiled machine, and we're a good team.
I just think that we're both very strong, and we like to get the job done.
Yes.
And we are so focused. I think one of the big barriers I think we have is the other first grade teachers. Sometimes I feel like I can be a bulldozer, like you need to do it this way. Come on, guys, get with it. But so I've had to learn to step back, and that's where she's helped me. She's like, Tracy, not everybody's like you, so you're going to have to step back. So I've used her kind words and to calm down. I do, like I said, I was trained in the OG, and so I'm doing phonics and PA. So on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I focus on phonics. On Tuesday, Thursdays, I focus on PA. However, that changes per group. Not every group has the same thing. I have
don't
some
all
kids
need
that
that.
don't know, are not able to do phonics yet. We are still doing PA. And you cannot learn to read unless you know these PA skills. So we're pouncing on those. And like we said, we already have the assistant. She's doing the sight words, and then you go ahead.
Yeah, and the assistant center is also differentiated because she
Very
knows
much.
based on the groups like what their ability is. With my group, I do the guided reading, and on Mondays and Wednesdays, I pull in a little bit of the OG with the rapid word charts. and then I move on to the skill. We do a lot. I make sure that every day they are reading because obviously they need to read. So every day in any lesson, like today I did grammar. Today we were covering, Thursday's always the grammar skill. So we did commas today, but they're always reading. So whatever it is that we're doing, they are reading in it. Now, one of the lower groups that I have, we did not do commas today because they're not ready for commas. We just worked on some sight words, more sight word practice and dictation to see if they could write a sentence. And even before that, they're still practicing writing their names correctly and making sure they can identify all the letters in their name. So each group, we know what each group needs and we go with that. That group probably won't get the comma lesson for a little while because they're just not there yet. But
yeah, and we do a lot with the map. Recently, we've really done more this year that we've gone in to see where they are, where their RIT band is, and we've kind of tried to model, or not model, but kind of mold our lessons to map their IEP, the standards, and what they need. And we had some training not too long ago with Terry Morgan and Carlina, so the whole reading, where every small group has some type of reading in it to try to apply the skills, so it's not just rote learning.
Sometimes the MAP scores are not a good indicator of how they actually perform in the classroom because when they sit in front of a computer, it's different. Sometimes they just click, sometimes, it's just different. So if their MAP scores are such where we're saying, well, actually in class they're doing way more than, we take all of that into consideration. So if there is a group that is ready, or even just a student or two that is ready for more, we will find ways that instruction can be increased for them. For example, we have a student who will be going to another class to get higher instruction than what we are giving because that other class has a group that is on her level and above. So we're going to be sending her so she can go and do that, whereas she's the only one in our classroom that's operating on that level. So we don't want to stifle her, but we want to help her to grow. So we're going to send her over to the other classroom, and we have every other day, and we have
holes.
Yeah, she does still have holes in
Some
PA,
holes.
And that's why I do PA every day as well with the yellow book. But we have in the past sent kids to second grade if they needed to, and then also we're very open to whatever the kids need. I mean, that's whatever the kids need, I'm going to do. Yeah. And Tracy's the same way. So if we've got to go back to basics, I know what the curriculum says where we should be. I understand all that, but if the child is not ready for that, we both have development in our backgrounds, and we're very gung-ho about children doing things that are developmentally appropriate for them. So that's
a lot
kind
of
how
our
we
kids,
operate.
due to the negative behaviors we have a lot in here, that does run a lot of our teaching as well.
True.
I mean, it just depends on what child's going to break down that day, and so we've got sensory everywhere.
Got
if you
weighted
notice
backpacks.
kids carrying a weighted backpack, we got weighted blankets. We've got sensory boxes. We've got fidgets.
Bubble
gum. Because they chew on their clothes. And we've noticed that if we address the sensory needs, that we do see a big difference. But that is a big part of what runs our teaching sometimes, is the behaviors. I don't know if there's a name to what we do because we're more fluid. Because like when I had a behavior going on at the back of the room and I was doing sight words up at the front, I went to go do the behavior. Miss Washington just jumps in. It's not like that's my deal. I have to do sight words and she'll take that. I just know I can try to calm him down better. And there's a child in the classroom that I know that she needs to go to more than I do because that'll help calm him down. So we kind of rotate. We just keep going. I mean, if she's having a problem with one kiddo or two kiddos doing comprehension, I'll just pick it up at my center and we'll just keep going with it. It's more of just a fluid. I don't even know what we would be called.
I don't either. And communication is huge.
Huge.
Because even though I'm here and she's here, if there's a problem, I'll say, who is that? What do they need? And she'll say, so-and-so, this and that. I said, okay. So then I'll hit it in the center when they come to me. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it.
It's just a fluid. We just really
We
just
do what needs
tag
to be
team.
done,
I
yeah.
don't know if there's tag team, co-teaching.
Tag team,
We're
co-teaching.
renaming it
Yes.
co-teaching tag team. Well, it's helped them grow because she knows things I don't know, and I know
Vice
things
versa.
she doesn't know, and we ping off of each other. We just it's.
Yeah.
I mean,
and,
I don't
and
know.
the amount of work that has to be done, it's nearly impossible for the classic teacher to do. I've not always been in a co-teaching situation. I have been I hate that term, classic teacher. I don't even know, is that even proper pedagogy? I'm not sure, but old-fashioned teacher. And it's hard because you see how we run the centers. You can't do that with one teacher because in order to do that, you have to have students that can work independently, and
Our kids struggle.
they do struggle to work independently.
I blame
So
Facebook on that.
having another teacher, another body in the room, number one, it protects you. Number two, you have an extra set of hands, ears, eyes to see what's going on in the room and to help. And number three, I think it's just good business. The children learn better. They've got two people that they can talk to, and even in here, they've got a third with our assistant, which is ideal. You've got extra sets of eyes to see what's going on. You've got another brain bringing something to the table. It is very hard to do by yourself, and with all of the things that have to be done. If I was in here by myself and she came by and dropped off all those clipboards for me to keep charge of, it's impossible. That's why we do it together. And I mean, I wouldn't.
I think that
I wouldn't expect somebody to do it on their own.
You got to kind of look at that. It can't just be a body, though. We've had collab classes where the SPED teacher is sitting over in the corner and doing just special ed children and not helping out with everybody else, not talking to the teachers.
Doesn't work.
You've really got to have
Active.
and a fluid kind of that communication, because it's not just a body. You can put bodies in. If we didn't have that assistant who works like she does, I mean, our team, it's a great teamwork, and it just works. Like if I was doing resource, I have found that the kids are learning better. I don't know that I agree that to have so many kiddos on an IEP in one classroom, because they don't have a lot of role models to go after. However, I do agree more with the collab than I do with resource. I think that some kids really need that pull-out time to quiet down and kind of regroup on their own in small groups. But the way we have it here, they do have small groups. It's just within the classroom, and that helps. Our kids can't do whole group right now. We do quick whole groups. We usually do a lot of movement, but and they're doing better.
They do.
They do better.
Yeah.
I hope people will watch this and understand that collab is working, but you have to be able to get along with the teachers in the classroom.
Gotta communicate.
And you have to work as a team.
Yeah.
It's not my kids, it's not your kids, and that's a big thing.
And you have to be willing to put the work in and put the time in.
Yeah.
They don't give us time to plan together, because usually she's getting called somewhere or I'm getting called somewhere, or we're doing conferences or something. So if it's, hey, are you doing anything tomorrow night? Can we get together and do this? We're willing to do that. And you just kind of have to be open to whatever and working together.
Yeah.
It's a true partnership. And if you do it right, it works.
It does work.
It works.
It does work.
Good deal. Please don't put the papers on your head. Hold them in your hand. Awesome. I think we're ready to share, Miss Fowl.
Okay, Clevin, go ahead and do your question. Why did Grandma make Mom make cookies?
Why do Mom make cookies?
To share with the class at Valentine's Day.
Share with the class.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Why did Gilbert's mom make cookies? To share with the class at Valentine's Day.
Good job.
Who can read their
All right.
question? Go. Are
Why all friends at the end of the story?
Yes.
Jeremiah.
They are all friends.
There are
All
all friends
at the end of the.
story.
Good job. You
Very
two go sit
good.
down.
Very good.
Go sit down. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Go. Why?
Listen to the
Why
questions.
did Gilbert like 2 new Valentines? Because Gilbert wrote mean and nasty Valentines to 2 classmates.
Good job. Go sit down. Fantastic.
job.
You can hold him. All right, Emma, who has a question? Go. Why?
Why Gilbert was hiding behind the cards? Gilbert was hiding because Lewis and Margaret were fighting.
Good job. Go
Good.
sit down. Love it. Love the way you did the inflection. You ready?
Why does Gilbert like Penny?
Patty
Patty,
has smiley eyes
smiley eyes,
and a silly laugh.
and a silly laugh.
Great job.
Very
Go
good.
sit down.
Very
Great
good.
job.
You gotta be still so Miss
You
Fowl
ready?
can get you.
Where does the story take place? Setting.
Uh-huh. At school, at Gilbert's school.
The story takes place in Gilbert's house.
Fantastic. You ready, Lily Billy? You got 2?
She does. She's got her question and answer.
Oh, eyes on me.
Messiah.
Go.
Who are the characters in the story?
Who is not being a good audience? You are being very rude.
The characters are Gilbert, Lewis, Margaret, Patty, and Mrs. Bird.
Good job.
She did both parts.
Good job,
Fantastic.
Lily.
Oh, you got 2 parts too? We got lots of kids out with the flu.
Yes.
Go.
Did Lewis and Margaret really make fun of Gilbert? Yes, Lewis and Margaret really made fun of Gilbert.
Fantastic. High five to Miss London. Okay, you know, let's problem solve this. This is her chair, so what do you 2 think you could have done? Fantastic. Come over here. Sit down, Lily. Okay, ready? Can you read it? Say, I can. Say, I can do it. Why did Gilbert write a bad Valentine?
Why did Gilbert write a bad Valentine?
Why did he write a bad Valentine? Because the kids were mean to him.
Because the kids were mean to him.
Good job.
Very
Go
good.
sit down. You ready, Teo?
Why did Lewis stick out his tongue at Margaret? Lewis thought she wrote him a bad Valentine.
Fantastic. Can you go see Miss Washington for a minute, please? You ready? Why was Gilbert all alone at recess? Why was Gilbert all alone at, say, recess? Good job. Ready, Caitlin? Here, Caitlin, hold it.
No one wanted to play with Gilbert because he made bad Valentines.
Ah,
Very
you
good.
did so good. Kyrie, go sit down.
All right, Chloe.
Oh, Chloe's again all by herself. Turn around, look at the camera. You might as well be on TV. Ready, and go.
Why did no one want to sit with Gilbert at lunch? Gilbert wrote bad Valentines because Lewis and Margaret
Were
were
mean.
mean to him.
Fantastic,
Jeremiah.
Chloe.
Sit, please. Good job.
Okay, guys, you guys did fantastic. We wrote the questions yesterday. We answered the questions. Look at me. No more. Eyes on me, Clevin. Lily. When you're taking a test, the reason we're doing this is because you got to be able to answer the questions. They're going to give you a question on the test. So you need to be able to go back into the story to find the answer. We've all been working on it, haven't we? And to find the answer, you can't just pull it out of your head, can you? You have to go back into the story to prove it. Okay, we're going to move on to writing, and we're going to do race again. Who can tell me what the R stands for in race? Everybody's hand better be up. Everybody's hand, because you never know where I'm going to stop, and I might stop at somebody whose hand isn't up. What does R stand for in race?
Restating.
Oh, Messiah, it is restating. Who can tell me what the A stands for in race? Answer.
Answer.
Answer. Okay, let's look at our question. Then we're going to restate it as a group, and Miss Washington's going to write it in red. We're just going to wait for Zuri. We're going to wait for Alexa. We're going to wait for Teo. Who thinks they can read this really loud? London, go.
What would you do if you got a mean Valentine from someone?
Ooh, great job, London. What would you do if you got a mean Valentine from someone? What would you do? How can I restate that question? Alina?
If I got a mean Valentine from someone,
Fantastic! If I got a mean Valentine from someone, that's your restate. And then your answer would be, I would, don't tell me, it's a secret. I want you to write. Now we went over 2 groups today, punctuation and capitalization and complete sentences. Okay, Kyrie, name and date at the top. Let's go. Put your name and date. We need to sharpen these, don't we, Kyrie?
Please make sure your name and date is on the paper.
Scoot all the way on. Kyrie, you're only writing the red words. Do you see the red words? Look up at the board. Only the red words.
I just sharpened it.
Are we writing the question? No. We are only writing the restate. Green and orange group, you better have at least 3 sentences explaining why. Oh, I gave it to you and I walked away.
All right.
Let's get started. Lily, all the way on your chair, Pumpkin.
what? Can you show me?
No, honey, there are plenty of other ones in there. Let's go.
I need that.
Get your pencil, mister. Then what do you need to do?
I'm good.
Raise your hand. Love the way you're working. So get it and then put this away, please. Wow, some of you are using the best penmanship. You've got your letters on the line. So guys, you have to put the question in your head. Make a picture. Pretend you're getting a really nasty, icky Valentine. What would you do? Lily, it's up there. I'm not sure why yours turned this way. Come here. Sit in this chair, Lily. Right here. And I need you to have finger spaces, okay? You don't need to erase